And we're in business. Okay, the first thing on the agenda is just to vote on the two meeting minutes that Tina sent out today.
Yep, I'm good with them.
Me too.
Okay.
Okay, so they're passed. See how easy that is, Rachel?
If
And you-
only all motions were that easy.
Yeah, right. Well, you have the floor. If there's specific things that you want to talk about, why don't we talk about them now? I know you mentioned finding a physical site in Perry.
Right. Well, this is up to you. I know you guys talked to Marcy back in May. And somehow our email got, I don't know, we talked past each other, something happened. Anyways, I'm not sure how much is fresh in your mind. But what NDEC, National Digital Equity Center, does is it tackles the other side of the digital divide. There's the infrastructure, that's what you're working on, getting the pipe to the house.
Right.
What we do is, okay, once you have the pipe to the house, you need a faucet, you need to know how to turn it on. So what we do is we offer digital skills classes. We offer one-on-one assistance with applying for the Affordable Connectivity Program. And that includes mobile data if you're in a place that doesn't have fixed internet. And that's a $30 federal subsidy off your bill every month. 75 on tribal lands. And then we have a device program that offers a free tablet or a Windows 10 laptop for lower income over 55 adults in Washington County. We can deliver all these services remotely, but what we are trying to do and trying to make it accessible, trying to get people in the door, we're trying to recruit local partners who are willing to have host our classes, help us get the word out. And I don't know if that's a good fit for you, but apparently you did. But I would like to talk to you about it, let you know what happens with it. As I said, I don't know exactly what you covered with Marcy or how much or if it's kind of lost to the mists of time. So I don't want to tell you a bunch of things you already know. I'm happy to answer questions. For the digital skills classes, which are kind of the meat and potatoes of what we do, when we have local partners, all of our classes are interactive. We don't use canned classes or anything like that. However, what we have started doing is delivering them by Zoom. So we have a location and the instructor can zoom in on a big screen. We need a local facilitator who starts the meeting, kind of keeps an eye on how things are going. Maybe somebody is looking really confused, but can't quite bring themselves to ask a question, that sort of thing. And you can say, hey, Vanessa, I think Joe has could you repeat that? Something like that. I can act as a facilitator. I live in Eastport, and that's part of what I do for organizations that are too small to have staff or volunteers who are able to do that.
Rachel, do you live on Water Street? Do you live at 12 Water Street?
I do.
Okay, sorry to put that out there, but I work for the water district.
Okay.
And I saw your name and I'm like, I know the name and I haven't met you face to face. But anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just now know that you live in Eastport right down the street. Okay,
yes.
sorry, go ahead.
That's fine. Come on by sometime. There are two things that you will notice: the house is falling down and the garden's going up.
Yeah, my mom lived there actually. She was the last person to live there before you bought the house. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I was very.
That's why the address stood out. Okay.
It did, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's not like I'm stalking you or anything.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, so we have partners all over the state. We're a 501c3. All of our services are free. We also offer one-on-one, work for folks who are really, they're such beginners with a device that they really aren't going to be able to, a class isn't going to be useful for them. And as I said, that's basically what we do.
Well,
I
Tina's
enrolled in
kind of our
classes.
shining star because she's taken more classes right now than any of us have. Or maybe
Really?
will, I don't know.
Right, I just printed off my first syllabus.
Congratulations,
Kind of cool.
super
So yeah,
user. All right.
really, really cool thing that there's free classes, so easy, and they're in the evening, so I can take them after work.
Mhm.
Some of them.
Yeah, for what it's worth, we offer every single class in two ways. We offer every single class in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Different people, a lot of older folks would prefer to do mornings. They
Right,
don't,
yeah.
you know. We also offer it strictly by Zoom. You can take every one of our classes sitting in your living room, like Tina. What we found out though is there's a certain amount of limited reach to that. A lot of people just aren't going, they're either, maybe they don't have the basic skills to start a Zoom meeting in their home. They don't have a device, they don't have internet service yet. They just don't want to, it just feels yick. And having local partners when they go into an institution or a space they're familiar with, it feels better, they're more likely to do it. And this is just part of what we're doing across the state of Maine. I happen to work in Washington County, but we have digital navigators we're hiring around the state. And as I said, it's the other half of that. There's infrastructure, and then there's, once you have infrastructure, what else do you need? And it's the what else that we do.
Is there an on-site in Eastport or no?
Right now, we don't. I am hoping we will before the end of the summer. There was some issue. The library was having, we were hoping the library, but they were doing the major renovation. And then the librarian was kind of stretched for a while. There were some things going on. So hopefully hopefully we will. We do have a partner in Calais. We also, the Pembroke Library. So we do have other places in the area. If you think that, if
Right.
Bailey Hill.
Mhm. I think I saw that, and hopefully Perry even soon, maybe.
Yeah, and we are very not willing, we are delighted to work with anybody. This is the only thing we do. There is no other purpose to this organization except to close the digital divide. It was actually started by Susan Corbett. I don't know if any of you know her. She was the CEO of Axiom back in the day. And she started thinking about the idea of digital inequality a long time before almost anybody else did. And her first initiative there was to start offering classes within Axiom. They spun it off and it was called Axiom Education. And after a while, she came to the conclusion it was just too big a job to be done as kind of a side project. And she left Axiom. She lived down in Jonesport. She lived here in Washington County. She left Axiom and she started NDEC. That was back in 2017. We were originally doing classes with instructors traveling from place to place. Maine geography means that's a really tough row to hoe. We offer right now about 40 different classes, everything from how to set up an email address to how to set up a WordPress website. Trying to, if you've got two people in Perry who want to learn Excel today, but the other two people in the state of Maine who want to learn Excel are in Gardner, that means your instructor's just driving all day long. And so by having our instructors Zoom in, it's kind of the best of all. It's the best compromise we found, where it's not a canned curriculum. It's interactive. You can ask questions, instructors see you and can respond, but at the same time, it's just far more efficient that our instructors can do 5 or 6 classes a day.
Very cool.
Are there any classes for internet security?
Yes.
Because I think that would be an initial attractor for a lot of the residents, and that would open the door to anything from word process. I mean, I don't know how much of a demand they would be for Excel or anything like that, maybe for some of the younger people. But I think internet security would be a big attractor for a lot of
Yeah, I was throwing Excel out just as a random one, but actually our internet safety classes are pretty popular. If you were looking for one that might be a crowd pleaser, I would probably say one that's called Avoiding Frauds and Scams. It's a 1-session class. All of our classes are 1 hour, but some of them are 2 or 3 sessions. We just found out you can't do the class for more than an hour. People just glaze over, it doesn't work. We have a 2-part internet safety class that dives down a little bit more into doing things like identifying safe websites for shopping online, passwords and password managers and that kind of thing. So it's a little denser, but that's a 2-part class. For identifying frauds and scams, I think, is a kind of a gentler introduction to the subject. We have one called Using Facebook Securely, that includes a really nice deep dive into all the privacy and security settings that a lot of people have just never looked at. So there's a variety of them. Also, I don't know if this is interesting anyway. We have, for instance, setting up a community Facebook group, also setting up a business Facebook page, if anybody has an in-home business or something. We have a class on telehealth, using telehealth, which is something the local health centers are pretty excited about. They would really like to be able to get a lot of their patients on board with telehealth. Because there's a real shortage of providers, especially behavioral health providers around here. Not to mention, little follow-up visits to your specialist in Portland. Things like that. We also have and then there's the classes that are just learning the basics of a given device. Windows 10 basics, Windows 10 intermediate, Android basics, Apple, iOS basics or intermediate, that kind of thing. Google Sheets or Microsoft Word. And each location gets to choose what they want to offer. We don't say you have to run an Excel class. If you're a partner, we have a bunch of pre-scheduled classes. These are just times when instructors are committed to teach. Marcy Gaglione is committed to teaching how to apply for the Affordable Connectivity Program on July 17th at 2 p.m. And you can go and claim that class, and then that's it. Marcy is going to be zooming into your location and will be teaching that class for you. But you can also, if something is not, if you want a particular class and it's not being offered at a time that works or is convenient, like the only time you see it being offered is Mondays, and you have a regular Monday meeting in this space and you couldn't use it, you can email us and ask us, would we schedule it? We would really like to run here how to build a business Facebook page, but we'd like to run it Wednesday morning at 10. Do you have a Wednesday morning at 10 you could give us? And I have never seen them not be able to work out something. So we're able to be responsive to the needs of a given community. If you have three people express interest in a particular thing, we do have the class catalog available to browse. And 3 people go, yeah, I'd like to do that. That'd be handy. Let us know. We like business. This is, we will do everything we are able to do to make it accessible and to respond to community requests.
Can we spend a few minutes drilling down into what type of physical needs you need from the community, and
Okay.
space, electricity, who knows what?
Okay. Our classes are generally maxed out at 10, sometimes smaller, because we do want it to be interactive. So we need a space for that many people. We need solid internet connection. We need some kind of a good sized screen, TV or a wall that with a projector, whatever, that can be connected to the internet to bring the Zoom meeting in. Some classes do not require anyone to bring a device. For instance, internet safety and that kind of thing. People just can bring themselves. We give them a handout, they can make notes. For the classes that involve someone already having a device, then the internet would need to be strong enough that it could handle that. Though I will say the students' internet needs are pretty low key. They don't require a lot of bandwidth. For instance, if you're doing the Windows 10 class, you're gonna open a browser window and close it and do some things like that, but you're not gonna run video or anything. So the only heavy duty bandwidth use is the Zoom meeting. We need to get into the room a half an hour before the class starts. That's just to make sure everything works, test the internet connection. And it needs to be an area that's open to the public, because our classes are open to the public.
The only two places that I can think of in Perry would either be the town city building or the school. I don't know what type of internet connection is available at the town building, but I think that the school has some good bandwidth, and I would think they also have a large screen. I don't know about the projector aspect of it. I don't know about the town building, but
Yeah.
you know, if Scotty was here, he might be able to answer that as far as the infrastructure goes for the town building.
Well,
For-
just because, oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I
I'm sorry, Tina, go ahead.
was gonna say, because I am at the meetings there, the internet is not good at the municipal.
Oh,
building.
okay.
It's like a drop spot right there, basically. But the school is good, yeah.
Yeah, usually, I think pretty much every school in the state got grant money from the state library system to upgrade their internet, and it was and they really targeted schools in towns with no public libraries. So I'm guessing the school probably is totally adequate. And as I said, it could be a blank wall and a projector, or it could be, a TV. Either one works. Just something, not something bigger than a laptop screen. You want people to be able to see the instructor, and you want, when the instructor is sharing their screen and demonstrating something, you want it to be clear. But we're not talking about something that needs to be clear from a football field away. We are talking about a small group of people.
Yeah, the Perry School has a large screen. They have it in the gym. I'm not sure about the connection to a projector. And I've talked to the principal, and she's very happy with the internet speeds that she has. So obviously, they probably got some of that grant money. I think Axiom might be, or what's the other one? GW might, one of those, but they have good internet. They have the capability to do what we're asking. It's just that I wouldn't even know where to begin or who to get permission and any of that stuff.
Is there a principal or a superintendent to talk to?
There's a principal and a superintendent, but that superintendent takes care of other schools.
Okay.
So
Sort of
Penny
probably,
Johnson is the principal.
so that's probably who you'd need to talk to.
Yeah, I would like for it to come from the selectmen or somebody within city politics, and rather than just, coming from one of us. I don't think that would be unreasonable, Ray, do you, or?
No, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
In fact, if
The
they
meeting
just wanted to have
okay.
a one-on-one meeting,
Sure.
one of us could go and represent the committee.
And I think it's a good
Or you
idea to
could-
start it off with internet security or safety. I think that would really get everyone's attention initially.
Happy to do that. Also, I know I have the results of the interest survey that you did. I want to say it was this past winter.
Yep.
Elaine passed the results on to me. So I do have some contact information for people who specifically said they were interested in learning, in gaining more computer skills, and they would be interested
That's
in
good.
taking classes if they
Right.
became available. And I'm happy to do that kind of outreach. That being said, a lot of times the best outreach is what happens within the community, word of mouth, somebody you know. I don't know how much time or energy any of you would feel, that you could have for something like that, but even casual outreach to neighbors or in church or wherever you go, it can just bring people in when there's a connection, when there's familiarity, especially with older adults. What you tend to see a lot with this subject, with technology, is a lot of fear and anxiety. They feel that, it does not make sense. It doesn't relate to anything they knew. They've lived a life, they've been competent, they've raised a family, worked, whatever. And there is this thing that makes no sense. It doesn't fit with anything they've previously known. And sometimes it can take a little bit of work, kind of bring them in. Another good one, I don't know how relevant it is to Perry though. Do you have cable available in Perry? Cable TV through Spectrum?
About 40% of the footprint of Perry is Spectrum.
Okay. We have a class called Cutting the Cord, which is about what the alternatives are for streaming, for video, and for phone service online. Assuming you would of course have to have internet service for that.
Right. Well, I stream with DSL. And I get away with it. Because we don't have 3 kids in here trying to compete with us.
That's helpful. It's helpful if you're the only one.
It is helpful.
Yes. It's interesting how fast we have gone to a connection to just assuming multiple connections are just necessary.
Mhm. Right,
It's part of the Netflix effect. We just didn't know what we were going to do with it
right.
very rapidly. So,
Well, I think all 3 of us are at least positively inclined to talk to the people at the school and see if we can set something up. Because like you said, John, I don't know of any other places that you could do that you would call public.
No, not with the internet, not with the widescreen, not with, I mean, they even have a walk-up bar. I'm only kidding, it's an elementary school.
Took a minute. I'm like, what is he saying?
We like to say, we like to save that behavior for high
for a
school.
sound bar or something. I was thinking, is that something I haven't heard of yet? Okay.
No, we like to save that behavior for high school. But I came up in a bad neighborhood. But they have everything we need. The seats are all, I mean, they bring in some seats and you're right there looking at it. It's a learning environment. It's a good place. And I think there's a lot of people that if you start off with security, I know people talk all the time about their Facebook page being hacked and they don't have any idea how it happened. So I think there's interest. It's a matter of getting a place for everyone to meet and then reaching out to that public to say, this is what's available. You know? The ACP program that I've turned people on to, they can't believe that they're getting $30 off of their bill. And I tell them that if we get Spectrum, you're only going to pay $19 a month for the first year. And they love that.
And we do offer, as I said, we do have a class that just walks you, we have a class that walks you through the ACP, but I will also just make an appointment and sit down with people and we will just do it one-on-one. Some people are just allergic to an online application. They just don't want to go anywhere near it.
Right.
And especially if they find out they have to, scan and upload a document or something.
Yeah.
so we're happy to, I'm happy to help with that. That would also be something that I would ask is whether or not there would be any place where I could meet with folks one-on-one. If somebody for instance, is an absolute beginner and has a learning plan, needs to learn how to turn on their device. My daughter gave me this thing. I don't know what to do with it. It's a brick. We do one-on-one tutoring for really basic skills. And as I said, one-on-one for affordable connectivity program applications. And
you really wouldn't need a large bandwidth for those. I mean, if for the one-on-one, if the town building was available.
I think it would do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that would probably afford them some privacy and they might feel a little bit more comfortable with their.
Right. No, we
safety
would need,
skills.
right. No, we would need a place that for that kind of thing, we need a place that's private. People are inputting sensitive information.
Right.
So yes, but yeah, no, there's no running video or anything, there's nothing that sucks up bandwidth. So less robust broadband, I think is fine for all of those things.
Tina, is the municipal building open outside of Tuesdays?
It's not,
That's what I thought.
no.
Or, I don't know. And again, I don't know what the facilities are. If there is an extra conference room or office that's not being used at the school, that kind of thing. It's something we can figure out in time, but otherwise I would have to ask people to travel to a location where we do have a space and partners. And that could be, as I said, Calais, Pembroke, hopefully Eastport soon.
So when you have an on-site place like that, does someone from that facility need to be there? Say it's the school, does a staff member need to be in the school while classes are going on?
I cannot imagine that my organization would want me to, I can't imagine the school would want me to have, say, keys to it or something like that. So I would
Right,
imagine it would have to be open. They
Gotcha.
don't have to be present for the class. We can use a local person to facilitate the class, but as I said, I can also do that. And so we would not need to have anyone else present for the class. But just from a security point of view, both ways, I can't imagine anyone would want me wandering into a location.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wonder, like, they would have to have it unlocked and lock up after.
Yeah, I don't know the policies each place has. For instance, in Charlotte, they have a kind of long-standing, I don't know if it's written, but a long-standing tradition of hosting a lot of community events at the school, including people have their kids' birthday parties there. So it was pretty easy. There wasn't any question about it. And I think that it's a community member who has the key to the room. It's not me. But again, each town, each organization is going to have its own feelings about about security and what it feels comfortable doing with its own facilities.
Right.
Let's let us work on that a little bit. We should be able to move it forward in the next week or two, I would suspect.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like this should be too hard unless everyone's on vacation.
Okay. If it'd help, I can drop you by, a handful of flyers about what we do. If you'd like something to hand to the selectman or the principal or whatever. Also my business card, if they want to give me a call, if they have any specific questions.
There is a meeting Tuesday night, and Ray and John, just so you know, the budget meeting is happening at the same time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So it's on the 18th.
Okay.
Are we
At six-
allowed to attend?
Yeah, anyone can attend the meetings. They're open to the public.
Okay. Is there someplace I could drop off brochures? Actually, Actually the water office or any.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep, stop by, drop anything up that I can take with me on Tuesday. And it's convenient. I'm right in town. Just drop my work 8 to 3:30 tomorrow.
okay.
What time is the meeting on Tuesday, Tina?
It's at 6 o'clock.
Okay, and at the municipal building.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I can,
Formal attire?
No, casual.
Okay, thank you. Just.
You need to be clothed, yes.
I know that.
so
If anything, just
attire,
because of clothes. Yeah.
attire is required. Okay.
Right.
So I have one other question, while we still got you, Rachel.
Sure.
Our committee has a presence on both the Perry website and on the Perry Facebook page.
Mhm.
But except for a couple of announcements that we did when we were doing the internet survey, we haven't taken much advantage of those resources, and I'd like to do that. And I'm wondering if we can avail of some of the expertise that you all have at the NDC.
Sure. Well, correction, what are you looking for?
Well, the first thing I think we ought to put on there is some information on the affordable connectivity program.
Okay,
I mean, we've been doing, talking to people we know and all that stuff, but it rightly belongs there.
okay. Nope, I will share with you a link to our Facebook page too. Obviously, you can repost anything that we've shown.
Okay.
And also I think there's probably, I'm pretty sure, our Facebook monkey has I do not say that disrespectfully, has some templates. And I might be able to get a couple of those. I will check with her. But absolutely, yes, material we have.
Good.
Links, and like I said, we definitely try to anything we can do to
Right.
make it easier. And also a lot of times people just they don't do things the first time they hear them. A long time ago when I was working for a nonprofit, one of the things they used to tell us about fundraising is on average before somebody needs to be asked 17 times before they actually donate. That's just the average. That's what it takes. And I feel like for something like this, there's a similar arc. The first time they hear it, it's like, and then eventually they run into, maybe there's a flyer stuck up on the bulletin board at the Farmers Union or at the IGA, or then they hear somebody else did it. And then eventually it becomes normal. It becomes part of your world map. And then it feels like a safe thing to do.
Cool. All right, well, anything you said this, we certainly were going to try to get our feet moving on this. I mean, a lot of the responsibility unfortunately falls at my feet. And there's a lot of stuff in my feet right now.
Being a volunteer in a small town is a commitment. It is a thing in itself. There's just
It was a surprise to me.
really, oops.
I mean, I've done a lot of volunteer work over my career, but I've never done it in a small community like this. I mean, I lived in some fairly good sized towns in New Mexico for a long time. When I got here, I mean, we got here because we got what we wanted, peace and quiet. It's lovely. But at the same time, finding a doctor sometimes is a challenge and all that stuff.
Yeah, sure is.
And finding help, I'm finding out, is also a problem.
What kind of help are you looking for?
Well, we just needed to kick up our committee by
Okay.
another full-time person. Full-time being an hour a week.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I am always amazed. I did grow up in a very small town. I spent most of my adult life in larger towns, but I grew up in a very small town. But here it's once again, there's 10 people and you find out each of them are doing 6 different things that are not their job. They are
Right.
just volunteer commitments. You might be on the zoning board and you might be on the art center and you might be, you're organizing this event or whatever. And it's just because there's just that much of a smaller pool to pull from.
Right.
And you do it or it don't get done.
Yep.
Anyway, folks, I really appreciate it. I know that you are doing this on your own time, and God bless you. If there's anything else I can do or say to help with this, I would like to do it. Please be in touch. I think everybody's got my contact information. And I appreciate your hearing me out on this.
Well, we appreciate you telling us everything, and I'm going to love my classes, and I am telling everyone that I'm taking online free
That's
classes.
so amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you. And I'll see you tomorrow or Monday,
Yes.
whenever.
Yep, one or the other. All righty.
There.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good to
Thank
meet
you very much.
Take
Nice
care.
to meet you.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So Tuesday at 6 o'clock, right?
Tuesday at 6 o'clock.
I'll make a mental note.
Yeah.
It's
Great.
going to be,
Peter?
so
I am going to be in Bangor getting ready to get on a plane the next morning. I won't be here next week. I'll be in Virginia with my family
Okay,
for a
That's
week. So please be our representative for the for our ask of $10,000 in the budget.
I know that, I'm not asking because unless they specifically reach out to me.
No, I made the formal request to the selectmen.
Yeah, but, what will they be looking for? Will they ask if there's any committee members, and then they're gonna say, well, what do you need the money for? And I'm gonna say, a new writing more? I know what we're gonna use the money for, but, I'm
Well,
not.
I got
the
mine
best-
fixed. It's no
I'm
problem,
not in the
John.
best position to, to say what the money's gonna be used for. I have a general idea.
Yeah.
But if they ask specifics, and I think Scotty should have a pretty good idea what the request is all about.
Right.
So,
and he
Right.
should be there, so.
I mean, I outlined a couple of things when I sent the letter to,
Yeah.
the email to the select board, but let me just send you some of my ideas. I
Okay.
mean, by and large, I don't expect to spend any money unless we want to do some sort of mass mailings. And I'm really hacked off that we can't do that, with a small amount of monies. I mean, it costs about
we've been-
$200-300 to do that in Perry.
yeah, we've been using the Perry website and Facebook and so forth. The people that we need to reach out to, that's what we're here for, is they don't have that
That's right.
access and they don't have the knowledge. And that's where I think Rachel really, she has something to bring to the game,
She does.
you know?
She's got a lot of enthusiasm. I really like her.
And there's a lot of need. Not only for some of the older people in the community, but again, there's kids in grade school that would love how to use Excel, Word, anything like that, which I don't think they get that level of training or, learning as far as in schools, because again, I don't think they have a specific class about IT. They don't have an instructor
Right.
that teaches that, and this is a good opportunity and unique opportunity.
Yeah, and the ones that I signed up for, I use Excel every single day, but I know I'm not using it to its full potential.
Mhm.
I only know the basics, right? So I'm like, I want to learn more
Right.
without clicking everything and be like, what's this? How do I do this?
Yeah.
That's a good way to learn, though.
It
Unless-
is. That's how I do it now, but 3 courses, I'm going to take advantage. And the other one was my iPhone, because I have an iPhone and I know I can do a lot of stuff with that I don't know. So let's learn it.
Yeah, that's another thing that would appeal to a lot of people is, the younger people, they seem to know everything about the phone anyway. But who knows, maybe they could learn something. And the internet security is a big deal.
It is. I
Really
mean, those
is.
guys that scam people are really smart. I mean, I throw away stuff every day. You know,
Yeah.
somebody's sending me an invoice, your invoice is ready, blah, 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 click on it, right? Nah,
Yeah, you can't trust anything that comes in with an attachment right now. If
No.
it's someone, any company or they just, it's really bad.
I
But
know.
yeah, those courses seem good. And they had so many. They had so many. I was literally looking, it took me 20, 30 minutes just to get through the list.
Yeah. And they're really clever. I mean, they'll go on a company's website and steal their logos and steal their words and the fonts and everything and put it on their email, and it looks official as heck until you look at their email site, their email name and see it's got 14 consonants in it.
Yeah, that's what I showed my mother-in-law is notice their address has nothing, there's no association with Apple or anyone else. I mean, have you ever seen Apple spelled with 4 P's? But that's exactly what they do.
I know.
Wow. Oh, and if you don't solicit it, then don't trust it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I try to tell my mother-in-law. Same
Yeah.
thing. If you're looking to buy something, then let's figure out where to get that. But don't pick up the phone. That sounds nice, because it's a scam.
Right.
And it's too bad because they're preying on
Yeah.
senior citizens.
That's right.
Really are.
And they get away with it.
They do. I was there with her the other day and she answered the phone and she was giving her age. And she was saying like, no, I don't, or whatever. And I'm like, who is it? And she said, it's Medicare. I said, they know how old you are. Why would you be giving Medicare any more information? Hang up. It's a scam.
Did she?
She did. But if I wasn't there,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's scary because I could be one of those people in who knows how many years, and all they're gonna do is they're gonna get better at it.
Yep.
So, I like us reaching out to Spectrum again, and unfortunately I won't be around for that 27th meeting. But I gotta be, well, I have a commitment in Machias at 3:45, so I don't know if I'll be back in time, but I'll
Okay.
try.
All right.
But I think if this is going to work, if Spectrum or whoever, CCI, whoever is the player, if they apply for the grant and are willing to accept the town's obligation, basically do the job without the town obligating any funds, that's a win-win situation for the
Sure.
town.
Well, if they give us the bandwidth, even if they're not willing to give us, copper to the premise, if it's going to work for everybody, and it's not going to be a killer price, then I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
I mean, right now I'm stuck in Ardolph. Lucky me. And if CCI,
I was too.
you're not on South Meadow.
No, but I think, well, I don't know if it's
You're
RDOF,
stuck.
but CCI says that we get 25.3, and of course we don't because of the distance involved.
Of course.
But that's all DSL also.
Right. Right.
And I have Spectrum on the left of me and Spectrum on the right, but nothing in the middle.
Nothing in between, and you don't have a long enough cord to hook
No,
around.
no, I mean, I was thinking about setting up some type of mesh network so I could tap into guys' Wi-Fi up the road from me.
There you go. Yeah.
Elon does this thing and he's not too crazy lately, so it's all right.
All right. Good.
But again, it's I think not that Spectrum's the only individual or only ISP, but I think that's what it's going to take is a large company like that to accept a financial commitment to get people online.
I think it would, well, we'll see what happens after we get a chance to talk to Spectrum and maybe CCI after that, depending on what Spectrum says. I mean, I'm going to be talking with Melinda on Monday night. We have a 4 o'clock call schedule. I think she just wants to pick our brains to find out what we're thinking and that sort of thing. And then she'll go back to her team and find out what they can do. They probably already know what they can do, but they just want to get smarter. And that's fine with me.
I mean, from your survey, what we did, it didn't make sense to me, other than maybe it's the engineering aspect of it. Why didn't they just extend the line further? I mean, is it the limitations of the distance? They don't want to put another node in. Yeah,
I would suspect it had to do with money somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't know what money buys.
and now that we have some numbers as far as the percentage that are served and underserved, maybe Spectrum would have a good idea of what our chances are of picking up some grant money, not maybe this time around,
Yeah.
but maybe the next round.
Yeah.
And if it's attractive, it looks like we have a pretty good chance the next time around. Maybe that would get Spectrum on board to do the grant proposal and
Right.
you know, see what happens from there. Or CCI or, you know, whoever else.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea when MCA is going to be in shape to do the first round of BEAD funding next year, but it probably will be about the same time frame as what they're doing now, August of next year.
Well, I just know from talking to that technician that there's some massive builds going on. So whatever is going to happen to Perry is not going to happen very quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
I was hoping that I'd hear from old Scotty, because he was supposed to contact somebody at Pembroke, get us a point of contact.
Oh, yeah. For the regional aspect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I suspect that I'll try to bring that up if it seems opportune when I talk with Melinda, but
But again,
MCA's thinking is that way.
yeah, but it doesn't make sense to me why we as the Perry committee should be reaching out to other towns. I would think an ISP would reach out to see, you know, what are you guys planning? What do you want? Or if Pembroke or Dennisville was interested, why wouldn't they reach out to us?
Right.
I haven't even heard if there's any interest within those communities.
The Spectrum line goes right through the middle of Pembroke.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
they've probably got about at least the same coverage as we do, I would suspect.
so they might be content in, you know, the
Yeah.
service that they're getting.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they can tell us that and we'll say, okay, we'll put it in our little book and we'll just move on.
But I still think we're in a good position because that signal is right next door. Robinson is fiber optic to the house. We're right next door.
Right.
And if Spectrum is willing to, you know, do some of the paperwork as far as grants and so forth, I would say that Perry has a pretty good chance of being fiber optic.
Was when you guys did your drive through that new Coast Guard housing, was that a Spectrum road or no?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was, because we
Yeah, it
looked
was.
at it, yeah.
Yeah.
And they have access. It's very nice housing. I'm very proud of Perry. I mean, I know there were some people that said no, but being in the military and having housing of that quality, I would have loved housing that quality. It's a little community. The houses are very pleasant. You need to hire someone to mow the lawn, just like Ray's having problems. But yeah, they really need, because they don't have people up here. I don't think they've negotiated a contract for someone for groundskeeping and even maintenance on the houses. Again, most housing, military housing, you have people that they subcontract to take care of the maintenance for them.
Right.
Because it shouldn't be on the responsibility of the military family to pay for plumbing and, all that other stuff.
Right.
But again, just driving through, it's very, very pleasant housing. And I'm proud. I mean, the community did good. And I'm happy for those young men and women. Good for them.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah,
the
that's
kid-
cute.
the kids were out there playing in the swing, and that's a big deal for young families, because 2-3 years from now, they don't have any idea where they're going to be stationed,
Right.
or if their mom and dad is going to be away for 6-7 months at a time underway. So to have them home every night just about that's a big deal.
Yeah,
But yes, they have Spectrum, sorry. Which is
Okay.
also good, because they get an opportunity to reach out to family too. That's a
right.
big
That's what I was thinking. I just thought, if they built those big, beautiful houses and then that was an area that wasn't, that they couldn't get,
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
speeds
well,
there.
that's the trunk line for Spectrum. It's right down Shore Road.
Yep.
The whole thing. In fact, most of the houses that we scored were on Shore Road, weren't they? John?
That's the first time I've been around Perry. I don't know. I know Route 1. And the
Yeah,
lake.
I couldn't tell you, right, I couldn't tell you what any of this.
Yeah.
All right, well, shall we call it a night?
Yes, I think that's good. I hope we get more players. Well, I won't, like I said, I'll try to be on board on the 27th, but hopefully we can get more members to participate. But thank goodness for Tina, I, and you.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry I was late. I was panicking. I don't have your cell phones or anything, so I texted Scotty. And I
Oh.
said, can you send me the link? Or can you reach out to Ray? Because I can't find my link. And he said, oh no, I forgot about the meeting. And so then you finally came on and said,
Right.
I was here. I sat down at like 20 of trying to get on.
Don't panic. Not worth it. Not worth it.
All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording
Okay.
and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
All right. Have
right.
a good vacation.
Yeah, enjoy. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, see ya.